talk show, as well as to be partnered with Electra James and Jack. We are 2 weeks away on the board of Houston Galveston Area Council, represented from the caucus of HGAC, so home rule cities. I've served as a vice chair, chair-elect, and chairman of the board. We've processed billions of dollars coming in from the federal government into the COG, local council of governments, in the local 13-county region, working with county judges, county commissioners, working with school board trustees, working with city councilmen, working with leaders of these counties in order to receive the funds necessary to address the issues related to their citizens so they can enjoy the quality of life services. We are the better of the two candidates because we have the leadership of government. We've served for 21 years. We've processed billions of dollars. We've made sure we balanced budgets. We've made sure we provided a lowering of taxes. We've built facilities, the City Hall Water District facility. We built the library for Dickinson. We built the fire station through the assessment of the needs of the citizens on the east side of Highway 3. We made sure those citizens on the east side of the railroad tracks of Highway 3 and Dickinson and 517 had a fire station. In the event a train would be passing, they would already have a fire truck on that side, and it would be staffed so that people could have that particular fire issue addressed, thereby lowering the fire rating for the community and decreasing the premium for fire insurance. I am the better of the two candidates because I have leadership experiences. I am an extrovert and not an introvert. I know how to communicate and articulate my thoughts. And most important, when you're a leader, you got to know how to listen. I know how to listen to the people. I have a pulse of the people as a passion for my leadership. So I listen to the people. I'm able to communicate and articulate thoughts that they convey to me in order to create plans and policies that will better enhance the citizens that I represent as your next Galveston County judge. Not only that, but I've served 27 years as a chaplain with the Dickinson Police Department. I've serviced Texas City. I've serviced Lamarck. I've serviced League City. I've serviced the agencies in our area, which means I know how to work with fire and EMS. I know how to work with police officers. I know how to work with citizens. And not only that, I've served 30 years as a pastor, 30 years as a pastor of the Greater New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. Built a brand new facility, $2 million facility right there in League City. And so I provided leadership that's accountability and transparent. I've exercised common sense in leadership. Just kind of give you some credentials. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. I am a leader in the community, an activist in the community. And so I understand the ebbs and flows of society and how you have to be adjustable to the things that your community is facing. And so therefore, I am the better of the two candidates. I've served 10 years in the United States Marine Corps. I am a combat veteran of the United States Marine Corps, Operation Desert Storm, Desert Shield. I love this country. I love this nation. I love this state. I love this county. I love the city I live in. And so therefore I have a purpose here. And my purpose is to service people. And that has been my passion for decades. I am the better of the two candidates. Need I say any more about my opponent? Does not even measure or meet the capacity of caliber of leadership that I bring to the table. So as your next Galveston County judge, know the facts. The facts is that I am the most qualified of the two candidates. Fact number two, that I will provide on day one the leadership this county needs to get it out of the muck and the blemish and the dimness that it's in as a result of the Department of Justice lawsuit against the county. Why has the Department of Justice sued Galveston County? Why has Galveston County been under any number of lawsuits over the last few decades? It's because of the poor leadership we've had in the current county judge. So I am the better to lead people so that we're able to make decisions that does not compel the county to be brought into frivolous, unnecessary lawsuits. What was the lawsuit about? That mere fact that he wanted to exercise leadership for a party rather than the people. You might get elected by a party, but you can't govern like a party. You have to service all the citizens for which you represent. And that's why I've been able to work with independents, Republicans, and Democrats, because the important thing of leadership is understanding the pulse of the people, understanding the needs of the people. And thereby I've been able to provide a resource. So therefore, the county was sued because he decided on a party basis he would, doing redistricting, After the census, he would gerrymander, meaning he would cut the precincts in a way that it would be favorable for one party over another. So he took a majority minority precinct and made it a 55% Republican precinct. Unconscionable, just unbelievable that you would use your power and abuse your position in order to twist the voting lines so that it would eliminate the majority minority representative for that particular commissioner's court and place someone of your choice, your party selection. That's not how we operate in our democracy. Yes, Texas was a Republican, yes, but we have democracy in the Republic so that we're able to all cohabitate and all collaborate in a way that's civil and reasonable and intelligible. And that's the kind of leader you have in William H. King III, someone who can do the right thing day one without having to be second guessed and questioned as to whether or not I operated based upon principle or operated based upon party. And so you'll have a person here that will not bring us into a lawsuit from the Department of Justice because I tried to create precincts that favored my party, but you'll have someone who will lead us and guide us to higher ground, to greater character, greater class, and greater quality of services. And so that's in William H. King III, unlike the current county judge, who's twice now been brought to the carpet by the Department of Justice. Why did that happen? Because in 2013, the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act. The Voting Rights Act provided provisions and protections that made sure all redistricting maps had to be submitted for examination and passing so that no one would be subject to gerrymandering, and you wouldn't have taxation without representation. It's just so important to have the facts, to have the truth. And I'm here today through the Electra James Inspirational Talk Show with Jacqueline and Electra, sharing with you just the facts, the reality of why we're in this lawsuit. And then you need to understand that you're going to have someone who's going to be common sense to leadership, who's going to bring accountability to leadership, who's going to bring transparency to leadership. Transparency in the reality, I'm not going to use a bag to kind of toss out thoughts that I'm decreasing taxes when the reality is we're paying more in taxes today than we were 3 years ago, than we were 4 years ago. Every year since our current county judge has been in office, we are paying more and more and more in taxes. The appraised values have doubled. As a result, you're paying higher in taxes. You could have done something like no new revenue, but he's done it at such a snail's pace while the appraised value are going at jet-like speed, Mach speed, that we are not able to restrain citizens from paying more in taxes and no new revenue. But we will bring the kind of leadership to Galveston County so that you'll be able to know that there is leadership that's truly working on your behalf, truly fighting for you. Why did I say that? Because in the state of Texas, our state legislature meets during an odd number of years. So the county judge should have sent a letter to the state representatives requesting no new revenue and requesting that the appraisal district begin to adjust the way they appraise the values of properties and homes in the state of Texas. But they sent it in 2022. Now, in 2022, that's an even number year. So no brainer, kids in junior high knows that. You send the letter when the legislators are in office, or you send it toward the end of an even number year so that when they get to office, they start working on processing bills at the end of an even number year so that when the odd number year comes in, they come in to meet, they start sorting through bills, they start addressing the bills. But you don't send the mail when you know they're not there. If you truly, honestly want to do something about it. And so I will work honestly and sincerely. I will work with dedication to fight and to work for you to get you the best in cent and what you pay for taxes. My name is William H. King III, and you heard enough already. You can go to kingforcountyjudge.com, kingforcountyjudge.com, and you can log in there to say, hey, I'll knock on doors with you. I'll make phone calls with you. I'll go out and reach and have community organized meetings for people to talk to you. Or I'll be a part of raising money to help pay for your communication with the citizens of Galveston County. I want to be a part of a winning team, and that's people being a part of the King's team of Galveston County Judge campaign. And so I want to make sure you're aware of the facts. The third fact I want to share with you is not just that I am the best of two candidates. It's not just the fact the embarrassment we face as a county being sued twice by the Department of Justice, but the mere fact that he cannot take care of the people who take care of the county. For example, our sheriff's department. For example, our district attorney's office. For example, our clerk's office. For example, the people who work for Galveston County, oftentimes underpaid. And then you want to wait until the end of an election cycle, and then you want to throw some money at them, maybe $500 or $1,000. Those type of bonuses may be significant for my Christmas gifts, but it doesn't take care of cutting the bacon and putting the bacon on the table so that I can operate every week, every month of the year. So when you give people bonuses and not give them a salary increase, then they get behind with their salary rate based upon the growth of inflation. So the more you're growing for as inflation is concerned, your salary has to be competitive to keep up in order for you to sustain the quality of life that job has given you the opportunity to afford. And so it puts you in a bad financial economic position so that you're not able to contend. I will be the county judge, as I did in the city of Dickinson, to always make sure our employees were able to have cost of living adjustments, that would give them a 3% increase in their salary. So no matter if the inflation was rising at 2% or 4%, it would still give them the competitive edge to meet inflation with their salary increase. So that you don't wait 4 or 5 years from giving salary increases, and where that $500 may have been nice for a Christmas gift or Christmas bonus, it didn't cut the mustard. It didn't put meat on the table. It didn't help pay the light bill, didn't help continue to pay the mortgage and the higher taxes that you're being charged, as well as the insurances that's going up with it. We've got to be smart when you're in leadership to work better before the government, because in the end, you're going to have to make a salary adjustment, and it's going to cost you more in the long run for your failed leadership in the past. And no one should have to pay for the county judge's lack of leadership. And so William H. King III will give you that kind of accountability, transparency, and common sense leadership of doing the right thing. That our deputies are not being paid properly. Our jailers are not being paid properly. Our attorneys in the district attorney's office, whether they're working defense or whether they're working as far as for those individuals in the county that come to the courts that doesn't have the resources to hire an attorney, and an attorney has to be provided for them, then you want to make sure they have attorneys that truly represents the people who may not have the economic wherewithal. Well, who are they normally? Well, they mainly are your minorities who don't have the proper representation. If a minority doesn't have proper representation because the caliber of attorneys are such a degree that they can't get paid well enough to be able to provide the services to their clients, then your minorities who are finding themselves in need of an attorney based upon facing a court, a judge, are not going to be given proper legal representation. In other words, we're setting a system up to fail. We are better than that. We are bigger than that. We are brighter than that. We're going to do the right thing. That's why we're going to vote for King, because we're going to do the right thing. But the district attorney's office has lost over a dozen attorneys in the last year because they can't get the proper salary. And poor Jack Rody has not been able to fight well enough or hard enough to get the resources to the staff that he needs. In other words, his department has gotten decline in staff and resources, and therefore by it weakens the department. Thereby mistakes can be made, cases can be overturned because you don't have the proper capacity, caliber of attorneys representing you. So we just want to do the right thing across the board, to look at all of our departments, whether it be streets, whether it be roads and bridges, whether it be the tax office, whether it's the courts, whether it's the DA's office, whether it's those who are working for our sheriff's department. We're going to make sure we work with those elected officials to make sure we do what's best with the money we have available. We're going to say to our citizens, we're going to do the right thing. We're going to make sure we meet the needs, and then we're going to make sure you get the proper services and the quality of services that you so well deserve. We're going to fight on your behalf as the Galveston County Judge. We're going to do the right thing. And my name is William H. King III. I'm the candidate for Galveston County Judge, and I want you to have the facts. My final fact, fourth and final fact, is that there's no need for you to fear anyone. There's no need for you to fear anything. There's a lot of rhetoric, and that's all it is, rhetoric, negative talk, negative innuendos, negative statements, negative comments, only to try to discourage your heart, your passion. You know now is the time. You know a change is needed. You know we have got to make a turn in the right direction in Galveston County. And so there's an attempt to get in your head to make you feel like, oh, there's people going to defund the police. Oh, no, this is going to happen if you vote these people out of office. Oh, listen, nothing's going to happen. This nation has been going through elections for decades, for centuries. We've had elections. And that's what happens when people are not doing what's right in office. What do? We vote them out. We put some new blood in, some fresh blood in. And so it's important that you understand the importance of engaging the process of making the change we need in Galveston County and making the change we need in the state of Texas and making the change we need in this country. It's enough with that far right wing ideology and chaos. It's time for us to stand up as citizens of the United States of America in Galveston County and do what is right for all residents, for all citizens, for what's best for our county. And let's do the right thing and vote for William King. I'm your candidate for Galveston County Judge, King for countyjudge.com, King for countyjudge.com. So I've shared with you that I'm the best of the two candidates. I told you why. I've shared with you the importance for us being able to cast our ballots in October 24th through November the 4th and then November the 8th on Election Day. I shared with you the facts about the tragedy, the leadership we've had in the current county judge and the kind of leadership I will bring. I will focus on flood mitigation, resiliency, economic development, sustainability, accountability, and transparency of leadership. My name is William H. King III. I'm your candidate for Galveston County Judge, and I'm excited to be on the ticket to be the person who will be the next Galveston County Judge. I'm the first representative from the party to run against Mark Henry, the current county judge, and I will be the one to win because you will go to the polls and you'll bring mama and daddy and sister and brother and grandma and grandpa and uncle and aunt and niece and nephew and neighbor and coworker and beautician and barber. You will encourage everyone you know. Let's go to the polls. Let's go to the polls. Let's go to the polls and let's vote and show them that lives matter. Women's matter. Women lives matter. Children lives matter. Health insurance matters. Our taxes matter. Your lack of leadership is concerning and it does matter to our existence. So William H. King III, your candidate for Galveston County Judge. Let's go vote and let's win this election.
Let's go vote.
Let's go vote. Yeah, if you don't go vote after that, I don't know.
I don't know.
That was good. You got fired up and ready to go.
I'm gonna tell you, I have a thought in my head, and you know, what does it take for a person not to just be a bystander? What does it take for a person to exercise their rights as a citizen and vote? What does it take? And I don't think it happens overnight. It doesn't. I remember a particular instance when I was in high school. I was in ROTC at James Madison, and James Madison High School. I was at ROTC, and there was a particular time that it was up on the funding for extracurricular stuff. And so I don't know what the details were. That's all I knew is we needed to get people to go out there and vote. And so we went out there and we met cars on the road and, you know, we did all that stuff. And that was the first time. And I think that was what we vote today matters in our local community today.
Yes.
And I wonder what it's going to take. How many of Electra's viewers can still say they don't know.
Wow.
They don't know how important it is, or they don't think it's important. It's so important.
Very.
And I'll tell you, Reverend King, even though that happened when I was in like the 11th grade, my parents never discussed voting with me.
Wow.
I'm sure they a lower middle class, maybe not even up into the middle class family, probably feels the same way. You know, there's a little bit of fear. What if I do it wrong? What if I mess things up? You can't mess them up. You can only make it better.
better.
Your vote can only make it better. And I think that that's not something that a lot of people to vote.
Wow.
I don't know what I thought was going to happen. And then, of course, after that, I've been a consistent voter for my entire life. But it was scary.
By having Reverend King on, Jackie, every week, that calms some of those fears. We don't know how many people fears he's calming by coming on, because they were at 12,000 and something. Guess what? I saw them today. They had 21,000 and something.
Wow.
And that's you.
And that he's been requested by YouTube. See, YouTube have to do that to watch you on TV. YouTube does that. That's out of our control. Yeah, they make that decision. They wouldn't